We are in the presence of a gentleman who has run the Morvant Football League and very much appreciated for his contribution. So maybe I need to tell the people your name and
My name is Carlos Michael Renwick, original resident of the Morvant community, grew up in Sem Street, Morvant.
So Carlos, what we want to do is, one of your valuable contributions to Morvant was, to me, Ex-pupils and the league. So we can, what we'll do is, seeing that you were part of Ex-pupils before you ran the league?
Yeah, I was part of Ex-pupils long before.
Okay, so maybe we'll do the Ex-pupils and then you will tell me how you come into having that vision to administrate and if there was a void for you to run into the league. So Ex-pupils, you were there for the foundation of Ex-pupils?
No. Morvant St. Dominic's Ex-Pupil Association, mainly past pupils of the St. Dominic's Archery Schools and Environment, began in 1957 or 56 or 57, including people like Bill Trotman, Murchison Jarrett and other people. Okay? And when I joined, I had joined in 60s, in 60s. Okay, so that was a good few years before my time it began.
It began before you joined?
Yeah, actually.
How was it? Did you enjoy joining it? Because obviously you stayed a while, so this was heaven sent for you? Or?
Well, I found myself to have been somebody who was committed to being involved in people things. I was a member of the St. Dominic's Archery Church Choir for about 12 years. I was secretary at one time of the...
singing in tune? Singing.
I was a bass singer, so I sing bass.
Yeah, right, okay.
And I was at one time secretary of the Morvant Community Welfare Association with people like Mrs. Drayton and Mrs. Irishi and those kind of people who, like they always seem to have been around in the Morvant Community Center, preparing lunches and all sorts of things. We had meetings and whatever. I eventually became the secretary of that organization. And that was after. That was after I had become a member of the Morvant St. Dominic Ex-Pupil Association. While I was a member of the association, I ended up being part of the Community Welfare Association.
So it was running parallel. You were in both at one
point in time, yes.
Okay.
And then around that same time, I remember the particular year, I had the inspiration to organize table tennis tournament.
I remember that.
For the school groups in the catchment area of Morvant. Okay? School children, and then we had some adult groups, okay, that came and took part in that competition. We also encouraged the playing of netball on the rustic kind of area we had in the savannah there, put up goalposts and mark lines and whatever. So I was always part of that sort of community activity. But eventually I graduated into the organization or the continued organization of the Morvant Football League.
Were you spearheading it, or in other words, was there a void at the time when you got into that?
Yes, there was.
I would think so.
There was, and when I ended up in there, you had the Morvant Football League, and I sat down like an organized person and pulled together a group of people like Russell McIntyre and others in terms of what we were going to do with this league. Okay, we put down the rules and printed them. Well, at that time you could print things and give out as rules and call people together. Okay, so I did that. And the league at one time from the late 60s to mid-70s, okay? I was part of that organization, and one point I particularly wish to note is that our league, even though it was an old league in the sense that it is now resurrected, we used to play league football against Morvant League, Francis Rivers League, and we used to beat them because we had such notable people in our football league like Pat Small and Botkin.
Oh, Botkin did play in the league, right?
You used to play for Sevian.
Yeah, okay.
Botkin, the McIntyre clan, which was a famous group of people who were sports-minded enough to have had Adrian, Derek, George, Ian, everybody inside of that league. Okay, so that league was, to me, one of the better things that had passed through Morvant, because at that time we used to have like Saturday and Sunday football. The whole of Park Street from the, like C.A. Paul, what an next name? Solomon. Solomon.
Solomon was from here?
Newton Solomon was from Morvant.
Okay, I don't know.
He was related to the Nobrega Street by C.A. Paul and them up there. He was police service. Okay? You had Musa and you had people from Monripo and Chinapu in the side. Okay?
Yeah.
And that, to me, was one of the other high points because we ended up in the National League. Okay?
But I'm so happy that you incorporate these other districts, because I think that's important right now too, because you know that was making us stronger Morvant too. And, you know,
there was no discrimination in it. But remember, we were here, the people from Morvant, because we were here when they built Kajuka Street, when they built the Lady Young Road going over to Hilton. We were there when they built Coconut Drive. Okay? So we have proprietorial rights in that sense of thought. But the other people were wrong, and they were attracted to what we are doing, and they came. Okay? Yeah. And that was my main...
so you're now out of Morvant? Like...
I've left Morvant.
Okay, but it's still...
No,
you are Morvant.
But remember, my roots in terms of growing up here, doing that community center thing, which is what people are lacking in this country now. No attachment to civic things like community centers. They don't belong to groups. Okay, they don't do anything. That helped me, plus the fact that we met people around here who I felt eventually respected my contribution. But I enjoy my life up to that point. Right? Well, besides that too, what I would like to say, we encourage the Ex-Pupil Association to do plays, drama. We encourage the Ex-Pupil Association to do sport, table tennis competitions among the members and outside. Then we encourage the people by promoting a dance every year in the same community center.
Seeing that you mentioned tennis a couple of times today, do you remember names around the tennis that were better or good tennis players?
Joseph Francis. He never played for Trinidad. No, but he was one of the better players. But Clyde Constantine was good too. What was Lennox? Who again? Lennox Farrell. Some of these people.
Keaton.
But
Leo Windsor.
They were not really part of.
Oh, you're talking within the group. I'm talking over because you're over structured.
To extend the tennis element outside of what I know as ex-pupil, we had Leo Windsor, Keaton, and so on.
Well, how can we get close back to something like that, or
in this community?
Yeah, if you want to put it in this community, yes.
No, what I'm saying, I'm not knocking the community, I'm saying that because they lack the civic spirit of belonging to some governing association like the community center. Okay? I remember sometimes when we belonged to Queen's Hall as a group, including P.T. Wilson, the famous comedian from Morvant. Percy Wilson.
Yeah.
The miserable one.
Tom, they used to call him Tom.
Well, right.
Tom, yeah.
We went on to Queen's Hall to take part in cultural activities as a MOVA, ex-pupils, inclusive of MOVA literary and cultural members, to take part in cultural promotion, dances and plays in Queen's Hall.
Okay. I think the lady up there, she told me that with Lennox Farrell, you guys, I don't know if it's your group or the other group. I'm beginning to get updated with which group is.
Well, they were literary and cultural. We were ex-pupils. We did everything.
So everything under you came under ex-pupils.
So
if I have to, what I'm saying, if I have to address the differences in name, first thing I have to think about with your group is ex-pupils. Would be in your title, right?
Morvant, St. Dominic's.
Ex-pupils. That's in the beginning, but I didn't.
No, we kept that name.
Yeah, but St. Dominic's wasn't in it when maybe because of the team. The team didn't have the long name.
We call it Team Morvant Ex-pupils.
Right, okay, alright. That's why maybe I was
misled.
misled.
But the organization of Morvant St. Dominic Ex-Pupil Association.
Okay,
founded in 1956 or whatever, around the same time like Ebonites was.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they were Morvant Literary and Cultural Association, if you like Ralph Campbell, Bill Trotman. Bill Trotman was originally ex-pupil, but he ended up with them now.
Mavis.
Diane Oliver, Mavis, John, and among others, right? Clyde Joseph,
Edwin
Mills, that kind of thing. So we did not have competition, you know. We had accommodation because them nights were Tuesday nights and we were on Thursday.
Okay, you remember that? Like it was written? Yeah. Okay.
This is not a soft thing. This
is a soft ball, it's hard ball.
No, this is what we lived. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Those pictures I showed you.
Yeah.
That's why I kept them.
Yeah.
Because I used to be, I used to keep them and put them in an album.
Yeah.
But those pictures are reminiscent of what we were doing. We used to go to church as an organization on a Sunday, a particular Sunday.
Referencing the pictures you showed me, I want to ask you a question. How you come by to have serenaders? What's your link? Is it because the serenaders was the only band? Yeah.
MOVA Teenage Serenaders was a MOVA organization.
I understand that.
And that is taken on the streets of Port of Spain still.
So you didn't have it's just that there was a MOVA band, you take a picture of it.
We used to be supportive of MOVA things.
Good.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Good, good.
Ebonites, we have support. I went and not me particularly, but as part of an organization, and went and was honoring Ebonites, MOVA Ebonites for contribution to this community when we were in the community center. So what we were looking at.
How far back was that? Were they in existence or after the fact you honored them?
No. They were there in 50-something.
And you honored them?
No, when I say honored. Anyhow, we picked out particular people in MOVA who made a mark on the community in a big way.
Gloria Nurse, that's a heavy title you put in her staff of.
No, she was secretary
of
the president of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. And she's from MOVA.
And she was
You know the nurses?
Yes. But they were low-key, that I didn't probably know. I know the nurses, they were quiet.
No, they were.
Only one was teaching Irish.
She was honored, plus who never left MOVA community. Bill Trotman never left MOVA community.
Right.
So we picked out people like that to highlight their...
You have any more that you can offer me, names? Because you guys did this prior to me doing this project. So...
Ursula Joseph.
Never left MOVA.
Well, she left eventually, but...
So that time when she was honored.
Okay, I would like to say that I prefer to deal with families. As I mentioned before, the Serets,
Okay.
Evelyns, the Hislops, the Downers, who had more than 10 children in most of those families.
Yeah, Bernard.
Bernards, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Bino and whatever. And
Critchlows. Yeah.
yeah, well,
yeah.
eventually
Yeah.
we connect with people like Critchlow and them from Chinnock.
Yeah, yeah.
But the catchment area was Morvant, bounded by the Lady Young Road and
Central.
Central
They call
Morvant.
it Central, yeah.
And people must understand, the Morvant community began in about 1943, when the houses going down past the market there. Going down past that market, if you watch
They
this,
call it Lower Mover now, yeah.
the structure of the house and the duplex house and whatever, the architecture changed as they came up the road, and when they go to the hill, you have to go up on the left hand side, those houses on that side. When they
Running
up,
parallel to the big hill.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that. I know
you
that
saw
one,
the
yeah.
houses change, and then the Morvant community came up, and it went to where they built Redwood Street and Cicada Street.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was told the other day that the Cropper family came, and when they were there, they had, the man had 20 children, about 11 children or whatever, and he had a three-bedroom house in Redwood Street. And eventually they couldn't afford to pay the peppercorn. You know, we have come a long way from being poor, humble people to what we are, you know.
They're talking to one family who
And
the right guy.
he gave up that and took the one in Clover Street, which was less rent.
I can relate to that. My family can relate to that.
You understand?
Yeah.
And when you think about people who made a mark in this community, you find that people just accept. They just accept. We hear where we came from when we did the bios in the Ex-pupils Association of Grace Smith. Grace Smith never left Morvant.
Yes, that's correct.
You understand?
That's correct.
And then we did Bill Trotman, Murchison Jarrett, Thomas Bailey, Hermione McIntyre stood out miles above other people in terms of netball. You understand?
Yeah. I think before I left, she was talked about a lot on the radio.
But the thing is,
so
that
I knew
spirit,
about her. I knew about her outstanding thing before I left here.
that spirit
Yeah.
is completely missing from Morvant, because the younger people do not know the history of where we came, what we did, how we developed. Okay? Because we slowly went to...
Let me ask you, stay right there on that thought. Seeing that the history, as you're saying, is maybe they're not aware, and I think that's very important, and maybe that's the reason I'm doing the magazine. Do you think there's a chance, if after this historical one, that we think of giving them that chance of being seen, or because remember, the league was important for people like me. It was our only way outlet to be seen, right? You know, if now, well, we're in 2017, that they could think after this project would move along. The youths of Morvant, even Trinidad and Tobago,
youths of Morvant, with whom we will connect, right?
Right. But you know, to connect is to distribute and to spread the word around, right? So that's my area. I'm in media, so don't worry about it. But I just want the thought. I was just asking you for your thoughts in that. If they think, and I'm still thinking like a youth now, how youths think, that they would be exposed for whatever talent they have. Mightn't be in football, you know, it might be like Hermione in netball, it might be in whatever field, that they could be exposed by either a magazine or whatever. And we come up to an idea where we could condense them to make them interact and then expose them, that we can build something. Yeah, again, back the league and stuff, that's fine, we could do that too. But with 2017, where they're on the internet and stuff a lot.
If the point you are going out there, if we can get the people who lived in era that we did. Okay? Unfortunately, people like Ephraim Serret, who died at 92, he belonged to the Serret family and whatever. And a lot of these families, they have migrated and they have gone to other fields. But if they could support some of the things we do, or we have done, or what we wish to do, they will have to come back on board. All these people, like us, will have to come back on board in terms of doing organized things and systems to be put in place. So that community center will be a very strong reminder of where we were and what we could continue to do if they build it soon, and if those of us who are wrong and willing to take part can be brought on board to try to come out of ourselves and go and share ourselves among the youth.
Right. And that's a challenge not with the youth. That's not a challenge with the youth, but there's a challenge because you know people like you has contributed a lot. And based on getting and re-familiarizing with yourself with the youth and stuff, which some people might find challenging based on the respect or lack of and stuff.
Or lack of knowledge.
Okay. Well, I talk a lack of...
thing is they don't know where we came.
So the lack of respect could be through ignorance then?
People do not know where we came from and what we went through to reach where we are now. Well, and that is what we have to teach the young people and bring them on board to connect with that. They don't teach no history here. Nobody else teaches.
I was told that.
No, we don't teach history in these No, listen to me. You hear what I heard what I said about what we did? I showed you pictures of how we used to have a Christmas dinner in the Morvant Community Center every year. We used to put on an annual fete in December with those big band Dutchy Brothers, Fitzvaughan Bryan, Aspic Clark, all those people pass in that center with us as the promoters for those dances. Okay? You understand?
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to get you, because I knew
the point I'm getting to you is that we have to share our experiences down to our children and people we're concerned about, but we have to teach them, show them where we came from.
Yeah. And you don't think it's too late?
No,
you know the cliche.
It is too late in a sense, because those people were never ever told about anything that was surprisingly so excellent in Morvant. Ebony still exists, still playing cricket there. That's the only organized activity that we have. Ebonites.
You know we run Ebony? Yeah.
I know you're wrapping up, but my brother Dennis Christopher Renwick took some of the things that we did in as a Morvant group in Ex-pupils particular. He went to Toronto, organized and joined with the La Petite of Toronto. La Petite Musical of Toronto.
Yeah, I saw him in it there.
Dennis went and he used to compose calypsos and sing them. And he went to St. Mary's with me, and he came back here for one of the reunions, took the St. Mary's College song, put it on a CD, well, musically, and we distributed it at the reunion we went to. Okay? And then he, unfortunately, died in Toronto. His funeral was one of the biggest they had in that funeral chapel, about 400 and something people, because he touched everybody, and the Caravan people in Toronto honored him. But I am saying I am attaching that to the background he had when he used to be, they used to call him professor and all kind of thing, like that. He used to play guitar. Well,
I remember with Deans.
You understand? So what I'm saying is that he, to me, is my brother, but at the same time, he's a product of the Morvant things that we used to do.
Thanks, I want to thank you again for giving me this time and the information.
No problem.
All right.
As a Morvantanian, you have no problem.
All right.